Today, we'll be working on a 2006 Scion TC. In this video, we're going to be changing out the valve cover gasket. You'll see how bad this one is here in just a minute. First thing you're going to want to do is disconnect the negative side of the battery. Let's take off these two nuts right here. They are 10 millimeters. After you get those two off, go ahead and pull this guy right off. Put it down to the side. Next, we're going to be taking out, sorry if I can focus. Next, we'll be taking out these 4 bolts right here. And they're going to hold on your coil packs. And also, pop each one of these off. Sometimes they're a little bit easier than other times. Now, each one of these bolts was 10 millimeters. So once you get them all out, you can pull your coil packs out. This is the bad one. So I've got oil all over this coil pack. Be very careful when you set these down too. We're taking off a couple hoses. Take off this breather hose right here. This one right here. Just gonna take a pair of pliers. Pinch down on these. Get that little clamp out of the way and pull the hose off. Just be careful not to damage your hoses. Next, we're gonna take off this 10 millimeter bolt right here, holding this little wire harness on. I'm also going to take off this one right here, holding this clamp, holding that wiring harness on. Next, we're going to be taking off these nuts and bolts right here. They go all the way around. There's 8 of them on the outside and 2 right here in the middle. They're all 10 millimeter as well. After all those bolts are out and nuts, you're going to be wiggling this thing around a little bit, trying to break it free, and then it's going to pop right off for you. Once you get this thing off, you go inside this part aside. You can see my spark plug tube seals are broken. That one's still on the engine side, down there. But this gasket definitely needed to be replaced. You can set that aside for now. You come in here, go ahead and take this gasket out. Be very careful not to drop anything inside the motor. And try and get all these little pieces out. Again, I try not to drop anything inside here or inside these tubes where the spark plugs are at. Just do a quick side-by-side between the new one and obviously the old one. Before you put it back on, just make sure you clean up where the gasket's going to go, all around the outside and around each spark plug tube, just so it gets a good seal when you put it back in. When you're putting it back on here, it's going to make sure everything lines up the way it should. Get it to stay in the groove. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed. And just try and get it best you can to stay in the groove all the way around. Once you get the new gasket on there, you're ready to put the cover back onto the engine. Now once you get the cover back on, as you can see with mine, the seal kind of came out a little bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to lift it up just a little. Run your finger back through there. And make sure you get your seal back into place. It's kind of hard to do it one-handed. But just make sure it seals up all the way before you start bolting it down. Once you get your cover back on, you're going to go ahead and start putting the bolts back in. You'll see that you had 2 extremely long ones. They go right here. These 2. And the bolts go in the bolt holes, and the nuts go on the 2 studs that are sticking up. Alright, next, I'm going to reattach this guy and this one over here. Next, I'm going to put the coil packs back in each individual cylinder. Next, you're going to tighten down each one of the coil packs here. Again with your 10 millimeter bolts. After you get them all tight, don't forget to put your wiring harness back on each one of them. Now if you're like me, and when removing this hose, it just shattered on you, what you have to do is take off this clamp right here, take off this end of the hose, go down to your local auto parts store and get a new one. And that applies for this one too. If you end up breaking this one, you have to remove it. If it'll focus. Right down here, there's a clamp. You have to take it off. I did the same with that one. Luckily, that one is still good on mine, but that one did break. I want to hook up these two breather hoses again. Fit it right on there and right on here. Get those hoses put back on. You can put the cover back on. Just slides on top. And these two bolt holes stick right through. Oh, there it goes. And you can put your nuts back on those too. After you get the cover back on, the last thing you're going to do is just reconnect your battery. I hope this video helped. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section, and I'll try and get to them as quickly as I can. If the video is helpful at all, please leave a like, and thank you for watching. Bye.